Hey everybody, I am breaking into, well, not breaking into programming, but I am jumping on live just because I have a pretty interesting storm here. This is the one I was watching earlier near San Augustine, Texas. This is now crossing, about to cross onto Toledo Bend, and the cooler water could help to kind of weaken this, but it's looking interesting on radar. Let me show you what I'm talking about. You can see the storm right there. I'm just going to pull. I gotta have my camera shot up so I can see. It's very hazy on the camera, so it's really hard to see any sort of detail. I'm hoping once the sun goes behind the clouds a little bit, it'll be better. So you can see the hook. This is the storm we're watching right here. Only a couple of strikes of lightning, so this is not one of those storms that that's going to be really loud. But if you are mid-lake toward over like let's see, Lannan, that area, Alliance, Zwally. If you're in that area, there's no warning on this storm right now. But when I go over to the velocity, you can see, and this has been for a few scans. I'm going to check storm relative. Let me go through this, and you can see this really popped up there south of Isla, and several scans of something interesting. So let's take a look at the correlation coefficient, and I see something there. I just don't know if that's. Let me see what this looks like on here. Yeah, I'm not thinking that's any sort of confirmation of anything. That's a little bit displaced from the actual rotation I'm seeing here. So, but it's been several scans. There's a nice hook on this. Let me see. Yeah, it's a little right on that front edge of this. That's where we're watching right now with this storm. I have it pulled up on every single data source. Actually, let me pull up my laptop. This is the storm pushing into Sabine Parish from Texas, the one that's circled right there. We have other storms that are firing up here, but that's this one's the most pressing issue right now. Okay. All right, just pulling up the Shreveport feed, and I think they're going to go special weather statement on this. I'm not sure if that's the storm. Actually, that might be the one to the northwest. So I wanted to hop on and just say that I am watching this. I'll take you to the Toledo Bend camera that's probably about 5 or 6 miles from this. Let me go over there and click on this one. That's just your tornado risk for today, still at 5%. But you can see here 73 over 72. So yeah, that's not going to do anything to weaken this. That cooler water would not be of service to this one. And it's tough to see because it's just so hazy out there. If I'm trying to see, if maybe down in here there's some sort of lowering, or if that's just some scud or something. I can't tell you for sure. So once that sun kind of goes behind this, hopefully we will see some more structure and we can actually kind of see what's going on here. But I'm looking at the feed that I get here is a few seconds ahead of it, and it might be improving a little bit. So I'm going to go back to radar and make sure there's no warning or anything on this, and then we will go back to that camera. But that's the storm we're watching right here. Very small system here. So this is, I mean, it's only a few miles across. Let me take that off of it. We'll take the lightning out right now. I'll put it in motion over the last, let's just go half hour. And you can see this did have that special weather statement. It's turned to the right, so this is going to move right out toward Manny, right along that big arm that pushes out toward Alliance there, not the one that goes up towards Wally. So this is going to basically follow just north of Highway 6. Our camera's right about here. Let me see if I'm gonna adjust this on my end. I'm going to go further. Yeah, that's not going to be a better view. See, I have this pole that's just the way this thing's set up. There's a little bit of a pole in the way right there. So I'm going to try to get it to where I have... hold on. It's tricky to maneuver sometimes. I'm going to try to get as much of a view of this storm as I can. So I'm just kind of creeping this back toward the left here, and that will help with everything. There we go, right there. Perfect. Okay, so I'm watching that. It's going to be resetting for about 20 seconds now, but I'm watching. I don't see anything on this right now that says there is a tornado on the ground or anything, but and there's no warning with this storm, but I did notice some rotation, so I wanted to jump on just in case something did happen. Looks a little broader and weaker here. So maybe this was just a brief, 3 or 4 scans where something happened. But you can see over the last half hour we've seen, and when I loop it, I miss some frames. So as I step through this, you can see that there has been some stuff showing up there. It's interesting. I'm watching it on the camera, not seeing anything right now, but keeping a close eye on this storm that is crossing into western Sabine Parish right now. No warnings or anything on that. Let's take a look at the broader picture and put things in motion. Show you what we have. I have my radar scope up here, so I'm watching that. I like to watch 3 or 4 different views at the same time. Just different algorithms show things differently, and yeah, it got kind of interesting there for a couple of scans. No warning. Let me put it in motion. I'll go for the last hour and kind of show you what's been going on as these storms have been really trying and so far failing. Hopefully that'll continue over the next couple hours, though I think things are about to start ramping up even more. These storms out here in East Texas are showing at least some sign of rotation. They're pushing more toward the east as they start to mature. And this is the one that I'm really watching right up here. Well, I'm not watching that. I'm watching this cell right here west of Manny. Let me get that out of there. But lots of storms out here, lots of weak spin with these storms. You can see these ones to the east staying a little less organized here, but this is the one that we're going to be watching here over the next little while. Let's see, that is a special weather statement for northwestern Cherokee and southeastern Smith County, so that's not going to be a problem. Yeah, that cap is still kind of holding strong down in South Louisiana. You can see we have this hole down here near Lake Charles. Once that fires up, once we break that and get one decent supercell out of that, we are going to see things take off pretty quickly. Let's go back to the camera. This is the Toledo Bend camera. This is on Highway 6 on the Louisiana side, and that's what we're looking at right now. I see nothing that's jumping out and saying, "Hey, Nick, they should have a warning going" or anything like that. But it is going to be this is the area that I'm watching right here along the. This is basically facing west. This highway kind of goes west southwest. So I'm as far to the right as I can go without it being blocked by a pole. That's just kind of the nature of this camera. It was the only way we could mount it. So this is what the view is right now. With that sun behind the clouds, we're seeing a little bit better view on this. Checking the last scan here. Yeah, still some broad rotation in this storm. I'll certainly be time-lapsing it to see if I see anything going with that. But for right now, nothing imminent. Let me go on the latest HRRR future track, and I will show you what we're going to be kind of seeing as we step through the next several hours. It looks like things are going to really pick up here. We're going to see more storms developing, especially in central Louisiana. And then to the south, we'll see things fire up a little later this evening, and be watching these because, you know, I've been saying it's possible this severe threat, I had kind of pushed it back to where it could be out of here by 8 or 9. Now it's looking like that low may be developing, and we could extend that threat back to 10, 11, maybe even midnight. This line here, I think, is going to be when it's very linear. It's going to be parallel to the flow. That's going to basically mean that we don't have that low-level speed or directional shear. So that's going to keep the threat for tornadoes very low, but we could at least see some sort of severe threat out of that. Let's go back to the Toledo Bend camera before I go to the radar, because it looks like the last scan, it kind of perked up once again. So this is, if I can get to it, there we go. Okay, this is the camera right now. We are seeing, I don't see anything that says that there's anything of concern right here. It's kind of creepy skies. You don't want to be on the lake, of course. But this is going to move pretty much directly overhead. So if anything does happen, I'm going to get a great view of this. I think it would be more over toward the right side here because we're going to be looking. Let me show you exactly kind of how we're looking here. So this right here is Highway 6. That camera is right there. So we're kind of looking right there, which is kind of perfect. So the velocity couplet, if you will, is a little bit north of due west. So again, that's that area that's going to be right where that pole is. So I'm not going to be able to see exactly what's going on. But, and again, that highway kind of goes west-southwest. So this is our area of concern. It's not a warning or anything like that, but I wanted to be out ahead of it because we can. I mean, you don't have to watch right now. I'm not interrupting programming. I can just jump on here and just talk about whatever, and you can come and go as you please. That's the beauty of what we do. So there's that storm from Jasper earlier. That's lost its identity. We have some new storms firing, and we're just going to wait and see when one of these becomes dominant and just kind of takes over. This one's been trying for a good while, and so far that hasn't happened. Hopefully what we'll see here is these storms coming up from the south will interact with this and take away the instability and at least give a little bit of a pause there to that, and maybe keep this one from doing something silly. But we got a mesoscale discussion. Let me just read this real quick. This is for No, that's a one that's not really going to impact us. That's more north. All right, so this is the cell that brought me on here, the one that's heading toward Manny right now. The rotation showing up, let's show you. Storm relative velocity showing some red and green. It's not a real tight couplet there. We're at about 3,200 feet above ground level. So we're not seeing the lowest levels of this storm. That's why I want to have these cameras, because then we can see the lower levels. And let me go back over actually now, because it looks like we might be seeing some outflow about to push through on this one. So this storm right here, cameras right here, it's really approaching quickly. Let's go and take a look at that sky, because that's kind of creepy. There is your kind of, I guess we'll call that a shelf cloud. This is going to be rolling across the lake, or is rolling across the lake right now. Should be at the camera side here shortly, and then comes the heavy rain, and we'll probably not be able to see much. Rotation is pretty broad right now. It's just to the, it's probably over in this area, if anything, but with this outflow kind of surging across the lake, that shows me that the chance for anything spinning up is a little bit lower. But I am going to watch this this kind of dark lowering right here. I'm watching it right now. Yeah, it's about to come. The outflow, the wind is about to come right over the camera. So I'll stick with this for a little while, make sure there's no warning on it. I don't think there will be, given that it wasn't earlier. But that's the sky right now over Toledo Bend. This is moving into Louisiana. This is right on the Louisiana-Texas border. This is the storm we've been watching for a little while here, and we'll just see what this looks like as it comes across. And who knows, you could always get a little spin up over the lake, enough water there to get a little water spout action going. So let's just take a look at it and see what we have coming here. This is the area I'm really watching on the right side of the camera. I cannot go any further to the right because it is blocked, but broad rotation continues as this storm pushes across Toledo Bend, and probably going to see some winds pick up. It looks like the winds have already turned to the west at the camera site here, west-northwest at 9 miles per hour. You can follow along with that weather data on the app, and all that stuff is going to be readily available to you. And of course, we have it right here for you. And I now see the core of that storm with the rain. It's starting to hit. There you go. You see it on the camera right now. I'm a little bit ahead on the actual feed here. But that's going to bow out, bring through some pretty gusty winds, trying to see if we can see anything. I really wish I had a little windshield wiper on it. Oh, that helped. Something happened, I guess. I don't know if the drop just kind of fell off, but that right there, that's the core of the heavier rain that's moving across with this storm. And I'm just watching to see if I see anything as this continues to push quickly across the lake, bringing rain and wind. You certainly don't want to be out on the lake. Winds now from the north-northwest at about 7. That's not terribly strong, but about to be some heavy rain, at least over a small portion of Toledo Bend. So if you are in Manny, this is headed your way. Not a severe storm at this point. Let me make sure there are no warnings on anything. Actually, I just saw a big pulse up in lightning to the southeast of this on another storm in Sabine Parish. I don't see any big changes on this. I'm gonna keep an eye on it, you know, on the left side here, but I'll go back to radar right now. Okay, that's our storm right there. Camera site is right about there, so that's where we're starting to get hammered by the rainfall. This is the one down here where I just saw an uptick in lightning. Let me pull the lightning back on. Yeah, this one here, that and typically if you see a quick uptick in lightning like that, that could mean something is about to happen. So let's go ahead and take a look at that storm. Doesn't mean anything severe or crazy, but that is the first sign you're going to see of a strengthening storm. There's your rotation up here. Go with storm relative. Take a look at that. So yeah, it's not like we have a red and a green pixel right next to each other, which would indicate a stronger possibility of a tornado. But again, we're at like 3,200 feet above ground level. Let me look at the Shreveport radar. That might be a little bit closer. Kind of a similar deal. This is now 3,800 feet, so that's actually kind of a radar no man's land. Just take a look at Lake Charles for the fun of it, and back to Fort Polk. So if you are out traveling today, thunderstorms are going to be developing and moving through quickly. Let me see what this one's done here in the last little while near Anacoco. That one looks like it's pulsing up a bit. So is this one. I'll pull the lightning back up and show you that lightning is starting to happen with that storm in southern Sabine Parish, and I think that'll happen pretty shortly here with this one in northern Vernon Parish as well. And then we have new storms out here in Newton County, Texas. Also, this one looks like it's pulsing up there in Sabine County, Texas. Down to the south right now from Alexandria, pretty big hole of nothing going on right there. So we'll be watching this area, but not overly concerned about seeing anything with that. And I'm watching here on this camera just to make sure nothing misbehaves and see what the peak wind gust was. 22 miles per hour, 52 seconds ago. That was our peak. That is entirely tolerable. We're fine with that. Let me check the comments, make sure I'm not missing anything. Oh, no, we're good. I think everyone's pretty calm on this stuff until we start seeing watches and warnings firing up. But seeing that lightning uptick makes me a little, not concerned, but, you know, I'm going to be watching it closely. That's what I do. I'm watching all this. It's literally all I'm doing for the rest of the day. So I guess I'll get out of here. Let's take one little quick recap of the camera. Take a look out there on Toledo Bend, see what we have going on. Just some rain and some whitecaps out there. Northwesterly winds at 12. They have peaked at 22. That's not too bad. And we're gonna see some heavy rain here move across the camera site. You can see that off in the distance. So if you are in Sabine Parish, things are popping off right now, but no warnings in effect. Let's go back to radar. One more look, and then I will get out of here because I don't want to talk too much now. I think I'm going to be talking a lot more later. A few storms going on right now. Vernon Parish, Sabine Parish, kind of the worst of it right now. Another one out there near DeVille that's moving into southern LaSalle Parish, out near Texaco Town, moving up toward Jonesville. And then in Avoyles Parish, we have a few storms as well. So if you haven't seen rain yet, you're going to. It's just, it's scattered to begin, and then it's going to get a little bit more widespread as we get later into the evening. Hopefully, as that severe threat comes down, we'll just keep the rain going. That's the way it looks right now. So that's it for right now. I'm going to jump out of here and take a little break. I will be back with any sort of interesting stuff, be it warned or not. We'll jump on and let you know what's going on with everything related.